This is World Report. Good morning. I'm Marcia Young.
We're going to be in a world of lower global growth, and we're going to be in a world of higher inflation.
Econometrics professor Robert Brooks predicting a difficult road ahead. U.S. President Donald Trump says his tariffs will stay. The chaos continues to play out on global stock markets. Asian markets tumbled again today. European shares followed. Still, Trump is defending his economic agenda. The CBC's Katie Simpson has more from Washington.
Eventually, it's going to straighten out and our country will be solid and strong again.
Standing before reporters on board Air Force One, U.S. President Donald Trump defended his tariff plan, brushing aside questions about the markets after he made an unusual social media post, sharing a video analyzing his economic policies from an apparent supporter.
Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose.
The video argues Trump wants to hurt the economy in order to force the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, which would make it easier to pay back the deficit. Trump denies that's what he's doing and lashed out when asked about the amount of pain he's willing to tolerate on the markets.
I think your question is so stupid. I think it's I don't want anything to go down. But sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
The Trump administration says officials from more than 50 countries have reached out in the hopes of cutting a deal to escape tariffs. Members of his cabinet offered mixed messages, some saying there's no wiggle room to get out of it, while others bragged about Trump's power grab and his negotiation skills. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
British Columbia is the election battleground today. Liberal leader Mark Carney and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre are there. But as Karina Roman reports, they are each talking about very different issues in their pitches to voters.
Who is ready?
This is Liberal leader Mark Carney's first time in BC during the election. Until now, he had not been further west than Winnipeg. But then, so far, he's twice paused campaigning to return to Ottawa and deal with the latest tariff salvo from the Trump administration. And it's not over.
If you saw the headlines over the weekend, more coming on our softwood lumber. 50,000 people employed, 50,000 people in this province.
Carney is set to meet with BC Premier David Eby today, specifically on the move by the U.S. to hike duties on softwood lumber, something that further threatens the already beleaguered forestry industry. But Carney's not the only leader in BC right now.
British Columbia is probably the worst place for fentanyl overdoses in the world.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is addressing another hard-to-solve problem in this province, fentanyl addiction and deaths.
I'm here today to announce that a new Conservative government will fund recovery for 50,000 Canadians who need it.
When people talk about battleground BC, they're usually thinking of the many orange-blue fights for ridings. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has said he's confident he can hold on to their seats, including his own. But the Liberals say they are more competitive this time, hoping the key question of who can take on Donald Trump will propel more ridings to turn red. Karina Roman, CBC News, Victoria.
At least one reporter is dead in Israeli strikes that hit a media tent in Khan Yunis. Video from the scene shows the tent on fire and people being carried away on stretchers. Palestinian medics say 9 reporters were injured. A reporter for the Palestine Today news website and another man were killed. The Israeli military says it struck a Hamas militant. It did not provide any further information. This Palestinian journalist, Abchat, says he and his colleagues will continue their work. He says it is their humanitarian duty to convey the truth to the world. The baby eel fishery is now open in the Maritimes. This year, there are new regulations. Authorities forced a shutdown last year over violence, organized crime, and unauthorized fishing. But as Kayla Hansel tells us, some harvesters say the new rules do not apply to them.
As soon as darkness falls, it's clear there's conflict on the water.
So I've called DFO, and it's been forwarded to the RCMP, and now I'm on hold.
Stanley King says his crew is the only team authorized by the Department of Fisheries and Oceans to catch elvers, or baby eels, on this particular river.
And there's 2 illegal fishers on the opposite side of the river.
The tiny translucent creatures are shipped live to Asia, where they're grown to maturity and eaten.
For the last 5 years, it's been the Wild West. Nothing but chaos, intimidation, threats.
I got everybody in f***ing handcuffs.
DFO canceled the fishery last year, citing safety and conservation concerns. This year, there are new regulations, including a traceability system to track the eels from the river to the airport. Carmine Julian is one of the fishers on the other side of the river. He says he's Mi'kmaq and asserting a treaty right.
Oh yeah, we have the treaty right to modern livelihood, to fish where we want to fish and catch what we want to catch.
The federal government has now allocated more than 50% of the total allowable catch to First Nations fishers, taking quota from long-standing license holders without compensation. Fisheries officers didn't show up in response to King's call, but the Department of Fisheries and Oceans says there have been arrests this season. It didn't say how many. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
American threats of annexation have many Canadians deciding to boycott visits to the U.S. It turns out that includes a group of dedicated people they're dedicated to reenacting the battles from the last time Canada went to war with the U.S. in 1812. As Katie Nicholson tells us, they see a lot of parallels.
A cannon fires across a southeastern Ontario farm. Lined up behind it, in painstakingly accurate red uniforms, the Fencibles. Reenactors of an 1812 regiment that defended this land against an American invasion. Normally, they participate in important battles on both sides of the border, but not since the Trump administration threatened Canadian sovereignty.
I think all of our members pretty well are Canadians. A lot of them are very angry, as many Canadians are, and are very hesitant to go across the border.
David Moore is the major of the Fencibles.
There have been events down in the States, in New York and Michigan and so on, and everyone has said, no, I think we're going to pass.
Sean Finnegan's roots go all the way back to the Loyalists who defended the British Empire.
My family's had properties taken from the Americans before, so that's my apprehension.
Like how far back?
The 1780s.
History is important to Finnegan, especially the long history of Canada helping the U.S. out militarily and after the 9/11 terror attack.
Now this is their pretty much thanks to us. They want to take us over, so like a lot of Canadians, it's over my dead body.
Their presence at battles missed by American reenactors like John Ozinski in Middleburg, New York.
We need each other. We can't tell our stories, our mutual stories down here. We can't tell them without each other.
For now, the Fencibles will share that history on this side of the border.
Ready!
The fighting spirit of 1812 marches on. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Prince Edward County.
It is a popular rewards program with more than 17 million subscribers across the country. But some say PC Optimum is not playing fair. Some cardholders accuse the company of freezing their accounts without warning or explanation. Rosa Marcatelli from our Go Public unit has more.
For 7 years, Vancouver's Frank Jong says he shopped like a pro, earning PC Optimum points on groceries, gas, and more. The rewards program, run by Loblaw, allows customers to earn and spend points like cash. Jong racked up points worth more than $43,000. Then, without warning, he was frozen out of his account. Only told he'd broken the rules, but the company wouldn't tell him which rules or when.
They didn't tell me anything.
Calgary's Jeff Mack was also locked out of his account, worth about $1,500 in points. PC Optimum claimed he had multiple accounts. That's against the rules, but wouldn't say what proof it had.
Seems kind of fishy. No justification.
Patrick Soika runs rewardscanada.ca and says the fine print gives PC Optimum sweeping power to freeze accounts by using terms like at the company's sole discretion.
Leaves the door open for them to really decide who they want to kick out of the program.
Loblaw tells Go Public its PC Optimum terms and conditions explicitly outline reasons why an account could be suspended or terminated. After Go Public reached out, Loblaw unlocked Mac's account, but it shut down Jong's for good. It says it has substantial evidence that suggests he was operating outside of what the company considers fair, but would not provide proof. Rosa Marcatelli, CBC News, Calgary.
That is World Report. I'm Marcia Young.